Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we are going to be talking about Constellation, aka DAG. So with that being said, I hope that you are all having a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are out there in the world. It has been a while since we've talked about Constellation on the channel. And outside of that, have I forgotten about DAG? No. In fact, the Web3 Alert, which is my media company, we have been talking about DAG for a little bit of time now. I was making videos on DAG back in 2021, and the main focus was data. And it still is the focus today, which we will get to here in a second. But I've not forgotten about DAG, and I personally believe that DAG is about to explode this year. And I do think that this is going to be a major winner as well. I think everyone should have this one on their watch list at least. But keep a close eye on DAG, because when this thing does start to move, it moves fast and it moves heavy. Back in 2021, it was one of the biggest winners in my portfolio, running to 40 plus cents. And I do think that it did hit higher. I might be wrong, but I know. So it was like 46 cents. Yeah, so I thought it hit over 50 some cents, but I could have been wrong. It might have been LCX at the time that I was thinking about. But still, DAG was a huge winner back in 2021. And I think that I was buying this thing on KuCoin. So it's listed on Gate.io, KuCoin, Mexi, Bitrue. Not some of the best exchanges, but hey, they are decent. I would argue that Mexi is probably the best out of all of these choices, but I can't really say for certain because I haven't really utilized Gate.io all that much. I have used KuCoin, and I recently shut down my account on KuCoin because they have been terrible. And Bitrue has been rough with fees. So me personally, I think that the best out of all of these are either Mexi or possibly even Gate.io. I would love to see DAG get listed on Coinbase or Binance. That could definitely be a possibility this year. I wouldn't be surprised by that. But this thing is sitting under, $100 million market cap, fully diluted. It's sitting at about almost $200 million. I do think that this thing has a ton of upside potential. I would not be surprised if DAG pulled, a 20x plus. Again, that's me being conservative, but I do think that this is one that you want to have on your watch list and you want to definitely keep a close eye on. Now, like I said, the big focus was data. The big quote that we were looking at back in 2021 was, "Data is the new oil of the digital economy." And if you guys do remember back in 2021, some of the biggest winners were actually focused on data. For an example, the graph, GRT, it was basically the Google of Web3. That's what the term was. It was a huge winner. But also outside of that, even today, fast forward 3 years later, guess what? Data is still so damn crucial. And I would argue that data is the new oil. Outside of even the digital economy, data has been so crucial for every single major industry, every single major enterprise, institutions, even governments. Data is a big deal. And we have down here that data in the 21st century is like oil in the 18th century. An immensely untapped valuable asset like oil. For those who see data's fundamental value and learn to extract and use it, there will be huge rewards. We're in the digital economy where data is more valuable than ever. It's the key to the smooth functionality of everything from the government to local companies. Without it, progress would halt. Now, like I said, when we look at infrastructure layers, they are going to be the ones that become the big leaders. That's also why I focus on players like DAG. And even outside of that, I also look at Casper, Hedera, and some other players around this space. I don't like to look at things as competition or like say, hey, look at DAG's better than Hedera or Hedera's better than DAG. I don't care for that nonsense. In fact, I just simply diversify. Now, I can't hold every single asset. That's ridiculous, but I still pick and choose. And we don't know where the future's headed in terms of what these assets are going to do or what adoption looks like. But I will say this, DAG has been at the forefront of this new data economy that is morphing into reality for a while. So I would argue that they have one step through the door already, becoming that key data infrastructure layer that is needed in the enterprise, the federal level, and even the global level around this new digital economy. Also remember, right? Data itself around AI with artificial intelligence adoption, that's a big deal as well. We're going to need transparent data that we can, tap into that is tamper-proof for AI adoption at scale. Now, beyond that, right? There was a post from the Constellation Network's Medium, and this goes back to February 2nd, 2023. So a whole year ago, we have Constellation Network's DAG incentivizing utility on the hypergraph. Artificial intelligence, governments, enterprise businesses, healthcare institutions, and many other organizations and technologies gather and analyze extremely large quantities of data every day from constituents, customers, and patients for things we take for granted, like receiving customized services. Imagine what it takes to do this for millions of people and how important it is for all of the data to be accurate so the results you get make sense. Remember, also tamper-proof. Having secure data is so crucial. And we have down here that data validation ensures your data is accurate, clear, and reliable. If the data you gather isn't correct, then it's not useful. This is where Constellation comes in. Constellation Network is the first Web3 framework to specialize in validating big data using DLT. When fully developed, Constellation's hypergraph network can validate data at scale and offer unprecedented interoperability and data sharing across diverse systems thanks to its unique DAG-based architecture and state channel framework. And remember, they just recently launched the mainnet 2.0 back in September of, I think, 2022, I'm pretty sure. And that is a big deal as well because it's advancing the overall network. Now, beyond all of this, right, data validation is incentivized on the network. We have DAG data pool incentivizing data validation with the DAG token. Constellation will commence the move towards incentivizing utility by creating a new data pool of rewards drawn from the current validator rewards pool. The new data pool will be a finite pool of DAG used for things such as door traffic miner, the DTM rewards, state channel grants, bandwidth grants, and other on-chain data validation activities. Soft node rewards will be adjusted to accommodate the new data pool to avoid net new inflation. And they actually have that down here as well. And again, you could actually see the rewards pool. You could see the ratio on this. You could see everything about that. And that's another one, like that's another thing that I do want to mention real quick is the fact that tokenomics. Max supply of DAG is roughly around 3.7 billion right now. 34% of the supply is out there. Again, there will only ever be 3.7 billion of DAG, which is a crucial thing to note considering the fact that this is extremely low compared to other players around the space, including, of course, Hedera, Casper, ADA, XRP, you name it. Now, when we go over to this breakdown, because I actually have this at the summary, this is the launch of Metagraphs. You can actually see a few things around this. Now, I think that this is one of the biggest changes that have happened on the Constellation Network, which is, again, Metagraphs introduce a new paradigm and framework for building transparent businesses with Web3 tolling and immutable data that correlate to tokenized incentives. They present a way to create operational accountability through auditability of data, marking a significant leap from past practices where cryptocurrency minting via smart contracts had minimal linkage to the business beyond token liquidity management, often not reflecting the business's actual performance. With this, anyone can connect data sources to an immutable ledger, aka the hypergraph, and tie incentives to key business metrics and indicators that further provide transparency around company operations. Again, when we really look at this, it's unlocking a ton of opportunity, especially around businesses themselves. Again, I've always talked about enterprises being a key crucial thing around participation and also even adoption of this technology. And this is how you get there. Additionally, Metagraphs can activate community members with programmatic governance by hosting nodes that validate those unique metrics, all the while earning cryptocurrencies. Alternatively, builders can simply incentivize data collection to improve external data exchanges with immutable transaction records, attribution, and also even auditability. Every company becomes a transparent, uncontested, analytical dashboard. We can evaluate a company with metrics at our disposal and see the impact of particular improvements in real time, partnerships, technical releases, or even revenue. And this is another thing that I want to mention, right? Is the fact that when we look at Constellation and when we look at enterprises and businesses, and specifically that enterprise layer of crypto, there's not a lot of focus on things like this. This is crucial for businesses and for enterprises. And when we go over to the enterprise section on their website, we have the enterprise blockchain solution the industry has been waiting for. And again, they do have trusted by the Department of Defense, which we've gone over in the past. But we have why hypergraph transfer protocol for enterprises. Centralization is slow and not secure. Centralized systems are too expensive and not fast enough to securely process, validate, and manage the volumes of data required for making quick decisions in the field without significant security risk. Data integrity at the edge is mission critical. We still haven't realized the promises of automation in industries such as artificial intelligence, IoT, and robotics because the data can't be trusted or is compromised, which is, again, another key thing that I talked about. Edge computing is becoming a standard and it requires robust decentralized networks. Zero trust networks and data interoperability is paramount. Zero trust networks are becoming a regulated requirement, and real-time reporting on data is now a compliance measurement. Seamless, rapid, and notarized data integrations between management systems and operators has become a workflow blocker. So as we look at what's going on here, right? Constellation is focused on a crucial piece of the puzzle that enterprises, institutions, you name it, even governments, right? They're all going to be tapping into because it is critical for adoption of automation. Automation is a big deal. I don't think that I need to tell you that. Artificial intelligence in just the last 2 years alone has grown and ballooned to something much bigger than anyone anticipated in such a short amount of time. But we're not going to realize the benefits of it. We're not going to tap into automation at scale without clear, concise, and trusted data. And that's where Constellation really becomes a key player. They're focused on big data. They're focused on what needs to be put in place in order for adoption of this type of technology to be realized in. And I also said that this year we will start to see a ton of money flowing into the AI sector because of how much interest there is from VCs, from the institutions, from the enterprise grade sector. They see the value in the convergence of blockchain mixed with AI. And even when we go over to the top AI and big data tokens by market capitalization right now at this point in the market, look at some of these big players. I'm sure that a lot of you are aware of some of these big players, but the problem is not enough of them are actually focused on what matters, which is the underlying data that needs to be unlocked in order for artificial intelligence to be tapped in. And again, when we really look at DAG, that's why I do think that this is at the forefront of this major innovation. And it's also why I do think that this is going to be a leader in the enterprise grade sector, but even in the federal level as well, which if you guys don't know, definitely do a little bit more research, but they are tapped in fully on the federal level around adoption of blockchain based technology. And it's all centered out on data yet again and the Internet of Things. Data breaches, secure data, it's crucial. And having that digital infrastructure in place, it's a game changer. That's also why over on this article where we have, data is the new oil, data infrastructure should become a profit center. And it's because at the end of the day, the infrastructure layer around data, it is so damn crucial. And it enables a massive amount of opportunity being able to have data that you can trust, transfer. I mean, it's a game changer. It's a game changer. So when I look at Constellation, when I look at this project, and when we look at the chart for this thing, I do think that the next big move is brewing on DAG. And I do think that everyone needs to have this on their watch list because once this thing blows, there's no stopping it. It's not going to slow down and it's going to continue to boom. And I really do think that a 10-20x on this, it's something that I'm really looking at being very conservative. I think that's going to happen. Again, I could always be wrong, not financial advice, but I do think that it's going to mimic that 2021 run, and it's going to be on a much larger scale this time. So definitely keep a close eye on DAG. If you guys do want to go check it out, you guys are more than welcome to go do more research. I actually advise you to do more research. But with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord in the description below. Also, if you guys do want to go check out NordVPN right now on the channel, they gave me an affiliate link for 4 free months plus up to 72% off. There's a ton of great layers that they offer outside of just the VPN. I'm talking about malware protection, tracker and ad blockers, things like that. So go check it out. There's going to be a link down in the description below as well as in the comments below. And with that being said, guys, thanks for watching. This has been Nick. Peace out.